back for another creative vlog. Long time no see. Where am I in the medieval comic project? I'm finishing up drawing chapter 3, and in terms of the long-term game of publication, I'm working with my agent to finalize a big proposal to show to editors of different publishing companies. The only thing left is a table of contents page inside the proposal. Something very boring, like a table of contents, but I decided to make it part of the story, as in like the branding, the aesthetic, take every opportunity I can to showcase some good, scrumptious artwork. It's gonna have the Gothic letters in ink. I'm gonna add a medieval border, maybe, and then at the bottom I was thinking of drawing all of the knights in their armor walking. And that would be the table of contents. So it would be like a light introduction to the main characters. And with the medieval style, it gives you an introduction to the vibes. So that's the game plan for today. I wanted to vlog this last stretch of the proposal process for funsies. So let's get started. I'm gonna use this paper. I usually use this size, but the bigger size will be good for the illustration and then the ink portion. I'm gonna use a light box to get proportions right, because since I'm gonna be drawing the knights, I want to make sure that I get the head sizes and everything right. This is a pretty rough sketch. Clearly I started it way too much in the middle because Boniface's leg is gonna be cut off. I'm having the most trouble with Rodrigo's head. Like, it's clearly too big for his body. Oh boy, look at that. He's so cut off. Honestly, I don't know why I decided to draw such a horizontal design in vertically. So maybe what I'll do actually is use this as an undersketch and trace over it with a proper orientation. It's Sunday, I just got back from day job. We will continue this drawing. This is where we're at so far. Henry is almost done. Their legs were too short, so I've had to elongate everything. The heads are still too big, but if I like how I drew it, then I really am just gonna have to fix it digitally. That's pretty much what's going on in my head of how much do I need to edit. It's another day, and we're still working on this damn drawing. I don't know, you guys. For some reason, I keep drawing the legs different lengths. Look, his right leg is way longer than his left leg. And the same thing with Alice. Why do I feel the need to make the back legs longer than the front? It makes no sense. I wanted to draw little Ollie, the squire here. I'll draw him separately and add him digitally. That way, I have a full image of Edward to use in other things. So I am thinking about like making multiple uses of these images. So I definitely don't want to have too many overlapping elements, that way I can use them for other things. So that's my only update so far. it's the next day. Thank you. I hate it when he gives me his back. I just got back from work. My plan is to finish all of the analog stuff. So finishing the drawing and then also the lettering. Tomorrow I can focus on coloring and setting all the digital stuff and finishing. When I come home from work, I always open his cage and he comes out and then I take him to the kitchen to give him a treat. For the first time, I opened his cage and he didn't even say hello to me. He went straight to take a bath from his water bowl. So that's why he looks a little mangy. It's because he's like half wet. It's actually this side that he's wet. There you go. Yeah, so that's a first of like, hi, how was your day? And he's like very awkwardly trying to take a bath from his very small water bowl. All that's left to draw is little Ollie. Yeah. Because he's holding the standard really long, I couldn't squeeze him in here. So he's gonna have to float as an extra. Done. Here are the rest of everyone. And then little Ollie. What's left after the drawing is to actually write the table of content. When working with ink, it's not good to be on a tilted table. So we're gonna work with the desk table. If you've noticed the new chair, it's not new. The wooden chair that I usually use, it broke one of the legs, and so for the longest time I had no chair and I was using my drawing chair for desk work. No, not the solution, but I also did not want to spend $400 on an ergonomic chair. And it has to be $400 because I don't want to spend on a crappy chair that's going to break on me in a few years. So I really do need to invest in things. I want to be doing that. So I was in this weird limbo for like 2 months, sitting on chairs that just didn't go with a desk. And lo and behold, in the lobby of our apartment building, somebody donated this chair. It's great. It's a little used, but I cleaned it up. It looks, wow, on the camera it looks brand new, but there's still like scratch marks and stuff from lots of use. I'm happy. This is like weirdly like the universe providing. Kind of ugly chair, but whatever. It does what it does. And it's quite comfy. That's the silly update on this massive gaming chair. I'm also procrastinating because I don't want to be doing this Gothic lettering because I suck at it, but it has to be done. So I'm going to pull out my inking stuff, pull out a calligraphy pen, and then my brown ink from in here. What you trying to do? I can't really open this with one hand. I'm gonna use this light box as a grid to help write straight. As a reminder, this is what we want the table of contents to look like, and what I'm going to write is this stuff over here. I'm going to use my handy dandy calligraphy book for reference, and this one as well, because maybe I'll want to do some decorative stuff on the side. I'm gonna do that last because maybe I don't need it. I don't know, I think it does need it. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the calligraphy stuff right now. This is the T and this is the C. They don't look that bad. Like, what the hell? This is my third session ever doing calligraphy. I think we're done. I tried to repeat a bunch of the letters since they will be repeating here, and I don't want to just copy and paste. I want each letter to be slightly unique so that it does look like it was made by hand. So hence repeating a bunch of letters. Like, they really do suck. This is terrible. But I will obviously edit them on the computer and make them a little crispier. And while the ink is literally drying on this, I'm going to use some scrap paper and draw the border. Let's see what we can come up with that. Good morning. It is 6 a.m. I finally have no day job. So I'm taking advantage of the free day to wake up super early and finish this table of contents. I'm very sleepy, so yes, I'm making coffee. And let's get back to this.
It's not surprising that Mo would have struck up a friendship, perhaps a relationship with Colin.
This is it. I'm gonna scan all of these and finally move on to the digital work. I'm really excited to have this all come together. So once the drawing is scanned, I adjust the Lineart's contrast through the level correction. You can find that under the Edit tab. I also adjust the color of the Lineart by going to the color balance and then sliding it closer to red and yellow. Yep, now is the time to fix all these wonky legs. I select portions of the Lineart using the lasso tool, and I remove those areas into a separate layer. Then I blue them to let me know that this has been separated and it needs correction. In actually making the adjustments, like drawing in the changed lines, I use a pencil brush that I think I downloaded from Clip Studio Paint's marketplace. There are a ton of pencil brushes, even inside the default options of Clip Studio, but it's nice to know that I can mess around slightly with it and sort of match the line art with the digital pencil brush. It's 9 o'clock, so I've been at this for 3 hours. I'm almost done with the line art for the drawing, so we're getting there. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Clyde is making a lot of noise, so it's time to wake him up. I'm gonna take a quick breakfast break, and then we will move on to coloring. We are done editing the line art. Thank God. Good morning. Hello. 10:30. We are back. I made another round of coffee. And I'm not leaving until this is done. Alright? I do have to go somewhere at 6 o'clock. By 5:30 in my head is what I'm telling myself. I need to be done. Alright, and we're coloring now. So that I color inside all of the lines, I don't have to be constantly erasing outside of the line art areas. I first make a mask that encompasses all of the knights. Anything in that ugly purple area indicates what will be colorable. I then add a warm paper texture on multiply mode for that organic traditional feel. I love doing this little trick. And then it's time to actually color. I use a variety of brushes, but they all have some type of texture to them and they feel pretty much like watercolor. I work with different levels of opacity depending on which pass I'm going through. So like main color is going to be slightly more transparent, and then on top of it I go for a more gouache feel. And then I'm pleasantly surprised that it all works out. It's 2 o'clock and we're still not finished. I don't think I'm gonna finish today. I only have 4.5 hours free. That might be just enough time to finish this illustration, but not enough to fix the text and the border. Yeah, it'll have to be tomorrow. That sucks. I suppose it's time for lunch. I feel like such a gremlin in this outfit and not having moved from this chair. Definitely time for a break for my eyes, my hand, and just... Actually, I'm not really that hungry, so I shouldn't be eating if I'm not hungry. Instead, I made another spirulina electrolyte drink. The husband gifted me a Stanley as an early birthday present. I've been drinking 2 of these minimum a day for about 2 weeks. Like, I have never been so hydrated in my life. Like, literally, I don't ever drink water. I don't really like drinking water unless it's warm or mixed with some kind of flavoring. So I do mix like half of a body armor electrolyte into this and then fill the rest with water. And so yeah, this is healthy girl summer. I'm in it. Now, if only I could just finish this, because I feel like I'm going crazy. I really don't want to leave until I finish this, but life continues. I hope this vlog is not boring. It's just, this is my life. Like, when it's crunch time for me, this is literally all I do. Just sit on the desk and become a greasy gremlin. The last thing to do is to color the armor. This green is just to look at the layer. I pick a very bright color so that I can distinguish it from the rest of the layers. So what I do is adjust the saturation, or actually the luminosity. So if we move it all the way to the right, we're turning that color into white. And because the layer is on multiply, it's transparent. And what we'll do here is we will tell the computer that the layer where we're gonna put color for the armor, we want that to look down on this one. So basically this is the template that we are going to draw on top of. And there you go, see? Only the armor portions can be touched. We're almost done. Here's the border. Now I've added texture and I'm gonna color it, so I'll show you right now colored. And there we go. I think that took about 20 minutes to color, which means all that's left is the Gothic text to edit. I have to leave to surprise my husband at his softball game. He's been wanting me to go all season, but because we only have one car, just logistically it hasn't really worked out that I've been able to go. So I haven't told him that I'm going to go with my friend and surprise him. Clean up well. After being in gremlin mode all day, this feels good. So I added the border and the knights. All we're missing is the text. It's looking good, you guys. It's finally coming together.
Nice job. Oh, yeah, Jonathan, woo! Yeah! Woo! Go, Jonathan! Woo! Run, run, run! Go, 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 go! Nice! Hit the ball good.
Months at a time, because when I
Yes. Oh, God!
Good morning. Today is Friday. All I have left to do is the Gothic lettering. So let's finish that. I just made coffee. It's 7 a.m. Let's go. Lettering. Alright, with the lettering, it's basically picking out each letter from this main scanned page and placing them in their spot. Then it's just a matter of straightening out their shapes so that they are generally around the same width and height. So I will be messing around with the shapes, but not the inside shading too much. We want imperfections. Like, imperfections are okay. The actual edges of the letters, they don't have to be perfectly straight. You actually want them to be gritty and crispy because those are natural imperfections of writing by hand. We want to keep that. We just don't want the letters to look all wobbly. It's 4 o'clock. I have finished the table of contents, but I realized I didn't put page numbers. You kind of need that for a table of contents, right? So that's what I'm doing. Last minute inking. I'm done. If you're out of the loop on why I'm doing this proposal and what happened, you should get on my Patreon. It's only $1 a month. I give very close updates on everything that's happening on this project. So that is related to this, and I am posting all of the illustrations with their reference images and under sketches and all that on Patreon. It's basically like everything is on Patreon. And if I have time, I'll make vlogs on YouTube. So yeah, if you don't want to be out of the loop, just go on Patreon. I am going to finally clean this apartment because it is a mess. I have literally not done anything but focus on this thing. So yeah, gonna do that. The husband is making dinner. It's time to just disconnect. Next week is a whole new week of new things. So on that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!